Inihahandog ng Philippine Air Force at ng himpilang ito ang programang gagabay tungo sa kapayapaan ng bawat mamamaya at pag-unlad ng buong pamayanan. Usapang Pangkapayapaan, Usapang Pangkaunlaran.
Maayong adlaw sa atong tanan mga higala, kami po ang inyong Philippine Air Force, your air warriors and skylifters in the Visayas. At muli pong sumasahimpapawid ang ating programang Usapang Pangkapayapaan, Usapang Pangkaunlaran Cebu, gamit ang tatlong malakas na signal dito sa Cebu City. Maraming salamat kay Annabel Lagrosas of DYMR 576 kHz Radyo Pilipinas, kay Sir Jonix Napalyakan of DYLA 909 kHz, kay Sir Jim Ebiosa ng DYAR 765 Sunshine Radio, at kay Ma'am Fayette Rinien and Ma'am Hazel Gloria of PIA 7 sa pagtulong sa ating programa ngayong araw. Ako po ang inyong host, Staff Sergeant Anne Francis M. Tompong, Philippine Air Force, kasama ang aking co-host na si Airwoman Yasmin Saladar, Philippine Air Force. Partner?
Isang mapagpalang araw para sa ating lahat, lalo na sa ating libu-libong tagapakinig at tagapagsubaybay sa programang ito, ang Usapang Pangkapayapaan, Usapang Pangkaunlaran Cebu. Tayo din po ay napapanood sa ating social media platform sa Facebook page ng 1000 BGB Niyab, 1000 PAF, AMC Skylifters at ng Up Cebu. Ang programa pong ito ay para po sa ating pagnanais na maihatid po ang mga impormasyon na mayroong kinalaman sa ating pagsulong sa kapayapaan at kaunlaran sa ating pong bansang Pilipinas.
And partner, let us also welcome our other participants through BTC, sa PAPSIMOG at sa SSCP. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting our program, partner.
Mga kaibigan, ikinagagalak po natin na makasama ngayong araw ang ating resource person, walang iba kundi si Atty. Tiburcio Adrian A. Umbac II, the reviewing Labor Arbiter of National Labor Relations Commission 7th Division. Sir, bumati po muna kayo, sir, sa ating mga tagapakinig at taga-subaybay.
Mayong Tagalog na naman.
Yes.
Tagalog. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Ako si Atty. Tiburcio Adrian S. II. I am a reviewing labor arbiter sa National Labor Relations Commission 7th Division na kabase dito sa Cebu City. Nagtatrabaho ko sa commission proper, and I am here on the invitation of my classmates sa NDCP, si General Villanueva sa 1000.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, ano po ang mission and function and mandate, sir, ng National Labor Relations Commission 7th Division, sir?
The mission ng NLRC, National Labor Relations Commission, is to resolve labor disputes in the fairest, quickest, least expensive, and most effective way possible. What does that mean? In the fairest, as in everybody, we would much prefer na hindi po matutuloy ang kaso to its conclusion up to the Supreme Court. Because if you have a case, there will be a winner and a loser. Then there will be very hard feelings. We would rather, we would rather have them all parties be satisfied. And when you're satisfied, there will be no more discontented feelings. And discontented feelings, some disgruntled people who feel they are wrong are very ripe to be recruited for the insurgency or to take up a life of criminality. So we'd rather that everybody's happy, everybody's satisfied, and fairest, quickest. We are proud. The NLRC 7th Division, of which I represent, is proud to announce that as of June, as of the middle of this year, we have accomplished a zero backlog, meaning we don't have gone at the time at the cut-off. We no longer have any pending cases. Of course, after that, may pumapasok na naman mga kaso, pero at least I can assure you that if a case is filed, the cases around handling ngayon is was decided by the Labor Arbiter in the RAB, Regional Arbitration Branch. Was filed around later part of last year. Ngayon, ngayon, it landed with us. It will not last until December, I can assure you that. Quickest, least expensive, least expensive. The longer the cases drag on, lawyers need to be paid. Sisingil yan. Actually, in labor cases, it's not the one. It's not the part the employee who will get rich. No. Personal experience. It's not the party. It's the lawyer who gets rich. How in cases. So we would rather that the case will be finished as soon as possible, so that it will be least expensive. Even complainants have to hire their own lawyers, contingency and all that. They will pay less. Personal experience yan. My father had a case and all that. Dakuha ang Tagalog naman. Malaki ang nakuha ng council namin. That's it. So it dragged on for 6 years, and the longer it goes, the longer a case drags on, the longer the richer the lawyers, and it can't be helped. They have to be paid for their services. But we would rather that the case dragged on, will not drag on. And in fact, kung pwede sana at the complaint level na compromise na, we will not prepare it that way. Let's work for us. Okay, least expensive and most effective way. That's the most effective one. That's what we're doing now. Zero backlog. We do our best to decide cases in the most thorough way possible, that all parties would be, if not satisfied, at least they would know where they stand. Okay? So that's the mission of the NLRC. And that is the vision of the present NLRC chairman, Gerardo Nograles. He has made it a mission he has made this his mission, and so far he's going to retire in after a year. He has done that very effectively. The backlog of the 7th division before, now he has been knocked out, or now 0. Yes.
Okay,
Any
sir.
questions?
Thank you so much, sir. Mostly, sir, ano pong mga cases or kaso yung mga hinahandle niyo po, sir?
Normally, if somebody is terminated, that's our problem. Most cases I see are termination disputes. Somebody is terminated, or somebody thinks he's terminated, nag-file kagad ng kaso. So this is nasa Article 224 ng Labor Code, unfair labor practice ng unions. Amin yan. Termination disputes. By the way, sa structure ng NLRC, I am in the commission proper. And when you file a case, it is not with us. It is with the NLRC's Regional Arbitration Branch, RAB, which is stationed there in Fuente. So if you want to file a case, doon kayo muna pupunta. Then when you do that, you will have to go through the single entry approach. That's a proceeding when the parties will explore all possibilities of amicable settlement. Wala bang kuan? The lawyers are not involved. The lawyers should not be involved in that. Okay? When the lawyers now get involved, it's no longer kuan. Compromise is already very, very difficult. So, file muna kayo ng kaso doon sa RAB 7. If you're wondering, I used to work in the NCR. So you file a case with the RAB, and the case is they have a procedure there until the decision. Pag na-decide na yan, then it gets appealed to us, to the commission proper. In the commission proper, there are 3 commissioners. I work for one of the commissioners. several commission attorneys, which will do the decisions for them. It's a jurisdiction. Termination disputes, wages and involving wages, claims for actual moral exemplary damages arising from employer-employee relationship. Now, there is a case where there is no employer-employee relationship yet, like for example, seaman. May perfected contract of employment na, pero hindi siya pinasakay sa barko. Although there is no employer-employee relationship yet, the case will fall with the labor arbiter because it's arising of the perfected employment contract. So normally, punta sa amin yan. Legality of strikes. To my utmost sorrow, I had to handle cases involving KMU when I was still stationed in Manila. Yes. Employment compensation cases, normally involving Filipino seafarers. This was my subject in my thesis at DCP. A seafarer who gets sick or gets injured while on board a vessel outside the Philippines, that is a part of our jurisdiction. Okay. The employee will claim disability benefits. If he's totally permanently disabled, it all depends on which is applicable, the POA, standard employment contract, or the applicable CBA. The CBA usually has a much higher rate for disability, whereas POA until up to $60,000 US dollars. So that's our department. I have when I was still with the NLRC in Manila, that was my exclusive one. Ako daw, allegedly, is the expert. Oh, no. Si Chairman thought, whatever. Wage distortion, enforcement of compromise agreements if there is no compliance, and money claims. The money claims are I think one. It's like this. Different to pag OFWs. They are outside Philippine territory, but Philippine law still applies. That's why if they get dismissed, they have to comply. Their dismissal has to comply with Philippine laws, which means there must be a valid ground for dismissal, and there must be due process. If the foreign employer does not know that, wala. It will be illegal. The Philippine laws will apply to OFWs, even wherever they are. And usually babayad dyan is the agency. The agency and its officers who will be paying for that thing. And usually, illegal dismissal, the usual penalty is the salary for the unexpired portion of the employment contract, plus damages if the dismissal was done in a wanton and one. We may be assigned by law by other tasks, but normally that's it. That is generally the functions of the NLRC. Remember, there's the regional arbitration branch and there's the commission proper. The commission proper is consists of three commissioners for 8 divisions. 6 divisions in Manila and Quezon City, 1 in Cebu, and 1 in Cagayan de Oro. The overall head of the NLRC is the chairman, Gerardo Nograles, and he has the overall control and supervision over the NLRC. So when you file a case, RAB, Regional Arbitration Branch, that's the line labor arbiters, the ones like me, but who actually do hearings. Actually, wala mo na ngayon kasi because of the COVID. Pero if there were BTC yata or something, I don't know how they do it, but they still decide cases. Then from there, it will come to us in the NLRC 7th Division. From there, it depends. The case may be appealed. No, not appeal. It's an appeal in all but name, but there is no appeal from the decision of the NLRC. no appeal. What you can file is a petition for certiorari under Rule 65 with the Court of Appeals. You will assail the decision of the NLRC, then the Court of Appeals, whatever the decision will be, will go up to the Supreme Court. At first, before 1998, diretso yan ng Supreme Court. Not anymore. Dadaan mo na yan sa Court of Appeals. That's one more layer. And I cannot speak as to how the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court will, how fast they decide cases, but I can assure you that in the NLRC we decide cases very, very fast. May nagreklamo na nga eh. May nagreklamo, mga lawyers. Hindi pa kami nag-file ng comment. Nandiyan na agad yung kwan. Yung denial ng motion for consideration. So, damn if you do, damn if pero we must prepare to err on the side of the accomplishment of our mission, which is speedy disposition of cases. Okay?
Yes, sir. And with that, sir, we have a short break po muna para sa mga kaunting paalala.
Okay, I can see the target. Okay, 3 to 5. Bombs away.
We are your Air Force, 75 years in existence. You may have heard our stories. Fighter planes, guided missiles, smart bombs, drones, helicopters. There is no such thing as a day without air operations. We watch our skies because of you. Your support brings us to the edge. It is the engine that pushes us to the limits. We are in your service. We pledge to fulfill our duties, and if necessary, pay the ultimate price. This is your Philippine Air Force. We protect the Filipino people. We protect the Philippine skies.
And we're back. Kasama pa rin natin ang ating resource person ngayong araw, si Atty. Tiburcio Adrian A. Umbac II, the Reviewing Labor Arbiter of National Labor Relations Commission 7th Division. Partner?
Thank you, partner. Sir, thank you kanina kasi tinalakan niyo sa amin yung mga cases na hinahandle niyo. And we'll continue to our question, sir. Matanong ko lang, sir. What if, sir, pag yung individual po, sir, is mag-file po ng case po, sir, kayo po ba yung nagbibigay ng attorney po, sir, or nag-refer?
No. Normally, no, hindi department namin yan. You have to apply to yung mga legal aid organizations. Hindi kami ang mag-a-assign. Unlike sa ordinary regional trial courts where pag walang abogado yung accused, it's a judge who appoints counsel de officio. Wala sa amin yan. So, you have to go to any lawyer, may mga patagay ng IBP, they may assist you on that. And I strongly suggest na pag you have a case with the NLRC at the outset, pag medyo you feel na kailangan na talagang resolve to, I suggest you have the assistance of a lawyer. It's not it will, kasi I've been in the NLRC since 2004. And I've been with the Court of Appeals dati since 1995 to 2002, and I was a prosecutor for two years. So, yan na I've been very experienced in my experience is handling, making decisions with the Court of Appeals, then with the NLRC. And I saw too many cases. Ang dami-dami mga kaso, supposedly meritorious, pero yung bots by the lawyer and incompetent counsel or no counsel at all, nag-file lang kagad. I suggest that if that's something it will save you a lot of pain afterwards. You have to hire a lawyer. So how you are going to hire a lawyer? It all depends. Dami mga lawyers dito sa Cebu City. If you cannot afford a lawyer, You can go to mga free legal assistance organizations here. And I think the Cebu IDP knows how to go about it. It is not my department. We will not interfere with that sort of thing. But I strongly suggest you get a counsel because to save you a lot of trouble.
Yes, sir. Sir, okay lang po ba, sir, na
Yeah.
ma-share niyo, sir, sa amin kung ano, sir, yung pinaka-most unforgettable case na na-handle niyo, sir, na talagang na-challenge kayo, sir?
Normally, we don't see the parties dito doon sa commission. It's the line labor arbiters, the ones in the RAP who can see the parties face to face. But sometimes I get assigned by the boss to conduct hearings. And I found out the hard way that the disposition of yung mga KNU, I got. Then I told them, you only speak one at a time. They will openly defy you. And if they don't get what they want, they walk out. Yan nga. So afterwards, I was so depressed. That was so depressing. I consulted one of my colleagues doon sa baba. Tumatawa lang siya. I think he's used to it. I'm not used to that. You know. A little tidbit ba, you know. Sino mga mahilig sa pusa dito? Sa pusa ba? You remember that one, sometimes if you're depressed, lalapit yung pusa sa iyo. Tapos kaganyan na. Have you noticed that? Yan, nangyari sa akin. I was so depressed. Pababa ko doon sa parking lot. Lumapit tong pusa sa NLRC, yung resident ng pusa ba? Kung yan, humiga lang siya against yung paa ko. Parang humiga lang. As you can see, parang ganyan yung pusa. So that was a most unforgettable experience. The hearing, not the pusa. Yung hearing ba? Yung hearing. And I was so walk out na ako. Dinimusritan nga ako sa baba. I really don't mind. Trabaho lang to and all that. Pero problema lang is you cannot reason with those people. No. They have a certain mindset. Yeah. So, it is our ideology aside. It is our mission that a satisfied worker is a worker that will not rebel. A happy worker, hindi magre-rebelde yan. So, we do our best to decide their cases fairly because there are sometimes mga employees that are hindi naman saintly. May kasalanan talaga. I assure you, we will decide cases fairly. So if the employee is at fault, it will decide against them. If the employer is at fault, we will decide against them. But there is a principle there. There is a principle dito sa labor law. In case of what we call equipoise of evidence, as in patas-patas lahat, as in both of them walang ebidensya, or both of them may ebidensya pero equal in weight, we always decide on the side of the laborer. In case of doubt, we always decide in favor of the laborer.
Ano po yung mga prevention niyo, sir, sa safety niyo, sir? Kasi alam naman natin na yung mga cases na hinahandle niyo po, sir. Yung mga nasagawa niyo po, sir.
That was the only case and I never felt threatened about it. Wala lang. No problem. But if ever, ano naman magawa natin? If somebody has it for you talaga, we already have several colleagues who were assassinated. And I don't know for what reason, pero so far wala. In my case, wala pa. Wala pang threat because I do my work in the office. They don't see me. The ones who are most at threat, if ever, are the ones na naka face to face doon sa Ramba because they know the faces. Ako, I'm just a little Indian doon sa NLRC. I'm not even the one. I just do my work there and I sort of anonymous lang. Pero kung ganyan sila ka disgruntled talaga, they take it out and that's part of their job. You know, mga judges, they get assassinated and all that. There's always somebody who will be unhappy with the decision. Ang kwan lang is if ever that happens, we will go to our maker with a clear conscience that what we did was the proper thing to do. Bahala na kwan, if somebody gets disgruntled, basta we go to our maker with a clean conscience. Having done what was humanly possible. Na walang kwan. Walang no influence, no money, and all that. Although it happens, you know. It happens, pero I don't know. I was in nandun pa ako sa Banawe. These lawyers have way of finding out which of the reviewers like me are handling their cases. I don't know how they do it. Pero I was found out. Pinuntahan ako sa office. And tapos galit na siya. Kasi, ba't palagi ako panalo sa iba, pero hindi sa'yo? Naman eh. Pero wala. Pero that's about the extent. So far, wala. Pero, I would be worried more about yung nasa line na yung nandun sa Fuente, because they're the ones who are handling cases face to face. They're identified na sila and all that. They're always gone. You cannot please everybody. If they feel they are wrong, well, life is cheap.
Dumako naman po tayo, sir, sa ating mga participants ngayong araw. Baka, sir, may mga katanungan din po sila, no?
You can ask me anything. Basta lang ko na kaya ko kasi I'm just a small Indian doon sa NLRC.
Yes, sir.
If you invited the presiding commissioner, si Julie Rinduque, he would be in a much better position kasi siya ang pinaka-bossing namin doon dito sa Cebu.
Yes, sir.
Pero ako, okay lang.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, unahin na natin ang kasamahan natin sa SSCSP Cebu Chapter. By the way, sir, itong mga SSCSP Cebu Chapter, sir, ito, sir, yung mga youth, sir, mga kasama natin, sir. Ma'am Shane, baka po may katanungan kayo kay attorney.
Good afternoon, attorney. Thank you, ma'am. Hi, attorney. I would like to ask if magpa-file po ng complaint doon po sa office nyo, are there certain fees that the complainant should pay?
No idea. Wala ako sarad nasa commission proper. But I know that pagdating namin sa commission proper, yung tinatrabahuan ko, there will be an appeal fee. Although, there will be an appeal, may appeal fee yan among others. Kasi pag respondent ka na, talo ka doon sa respondent, you have to post the man. But, if you are litigating as an indigent ka, you're exempted. You're exempted from the payment of fees.
Another question, attorney, what are the qualifications or the degrees that NLRC office accept?
No, actually, you can go and you have to inquire from that sa aming admin because they have silang nagde-determine anong mga positions, administrative assistant. Yung website ng NLRC also post them mga vacancies from commissioner down. As to I can only speak as to my qualification. As to qualification, I have to be at least of course, a member of the bar, lawyer. You have to be a lawyer. You cannot be a labor arbiter if you're not a lawyer. And at the very least 5 years in the practice of law. Not just law, labor law. Kasi if you're a prosecutor, panay criminal cases ka, you will not be qualified as a labor arbiter. So you have to be, or if you are a practicing lawyer who specializes in labor law, then you will be qualified. Ang sistema dyan is you will be you will have to submit your application doon sa NLRC proper, then you have to undergo an interview, may exam pa and all that. Then if you get appointed, you will be assigned to one of the commissions to be for immersion, sort of immersion. You'll be trained to write decisions. That's how I started. That's why I'm still there. Kasi hindi na ako ina-assign balik sa RAB. I prefer to be in the commission. So, yan na, 3 months of, that's why we call immersion, where you will learn to make decisions. Afterwards, you'll be deployed to one of the regional arbitration branches. That's one. That's the qualifications of a labor arbiter. As to the commissioner, we prefer that one. We prefer na they will come from the NLRC din, pero that's all the prerogative of the president, who is the appointing authority. As to yung qualifications, you can apply. You have to check one. You have to check yung NLRC website. We keep posting them. Anong mga administrative assistant. May nakita ko mga administrative assistant. If you're a lawyer, a new lawyer, and all that, you can apply as a commission attorney, which means you'll be one of the reviewers of the commissioner. You'll be coterminous. You'll be serving at the pleasure of the commissioner where you are assigned. You will be writing decisions for them. Commission attorney 4, and all that. I used to work in a similar job in the Court of Appeals. I was a court attorney 5. I wrote decisions for the justice of the Court of Appeals. So, although there are certain commissioners, there are certain justices who prefer to write the decisions themselves, but with the volume, they prefer to delegate the matters to people like me, to write the decision. Then all they have to do is read. If they don't approve, balik sa amin yan, and with a comment and all that, they revise. We just do what the commissioner tells us to do.
Okay, attorney. Thank you. Last question, attorney. Dahil month of graduation ngayon, pang motivation lang, attorney, how much do you make? If that's okay to ask po, how much do you make?
I cannot for one thing, I don't have yung payroll, pay slip with me. Nandun sa office. Pero I can say that I'm a grade 29. Grade 29. The commissioner is grade 30. I am grade 29, but we have the same salary and benefits as an RTC judge. And the only difference is we retire at 65, they retire at 70. That's the only difference. So we're grade 29.
Basta attorney, salary grade 29.
Yes, at least alam natin yon, salary grade.
Yeah.
29. Oo.
Thank you, attorney.
Take it as well, pero ito you may be salary grade 29, pero ang longevity ko, yung mga increments yan. So, you may be receiving more than an equivalent sa grade 29, colleague mo na grade 29. Who is, mas matagal ka sa servisyo, of course.
Okay, attorney, thank you.
Yes, Ma'am Shane, thank you. Punta tayo sa PAP Simog, sir. A2C Lardizabal.
You made mention po kanina yung cases involving KMU. Based po sa experience nyo, sir, or sa time nyo sa NLRC, sir, nagkaroon ba ng case ng dumating sila sa same resolution or parang ganun, sir, yung nagkaroon ng areglo po, sir? Thank you, sir. Yun po yung tanong ko po, sir.
Okay. I will not personal experience ko lang doon. I cannot speak for the other members of the commission. So the one I was personally involved, eventually na-resolve lang. I will not tell you the case, I will not tell you the case. I don't even remember what the case title is kasi that was a bad memory. And
Yes, sir. Yes.
I have a bad memory. Hindi naman ako. Pero I can assure you na may kasalanan din ng kumpanya. So we juggle the issues and we solve it. May okay lang.
Thank you, sir.
Oh. Yes. Oh, go ahead.
Yes, Sarge. Thank you. Balik ulit tayo kay Sir Don. Sir, baka may katanungan ka po kay attorney?
Okay. Does National Labor Relations Commission require pre-employment background checks? And what kind of background check does National Labor Relations Commission do, and how long does it take to complete?
We don't want that. We don't do those things. Yung mga if there's anything else about labor na hindi kasama sa amin, it's usually the DOLE. Ang DOLE na may jurisdiction nun. Yeah. I don't know if the DOLE does pre-background checks, pero they have the power kasi to inspect inspection. So that's their department. Yeah. That's not the NLRC department. Our jurisdiction is pag may problema na employment. Pag may controversy na, that's our problem already. Pero as to who gets employed and who does not get employed, that's not our problem. Except pag if the employment is at our yung mag-a-apply sa amin. Pero I don't think mayroon ding background thing. I recall na the only time I was subjected to background was nung nag-apply ko sa NDCP. Yan, binaba.
Okay po, attorney. Thank you.
Yes, Sir Don. Thank you. Sir, meron din po
You're
dito.
welcome.
Kasamahan natin si Staff Sergeant Pio Quinto. Sergeant Piox, baka may katanungan po kayo para kay attorney?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, attorney, sir. I am Staff Sergeant Pio Quinto, assigned here in Tactical Operations Wing Central. You had tackled a while ago, sir, regarding sa kaning Kilosang Mayo 1, sir, no? Itong KMU kasi, sir, mostly yung mga grievances nila, sir, is more about kaning end of contractualization, endo, nga na. So, have you handled a case such as, sir, kanong mga endo, nga, or are they allowed to, are they allowed to create a labor union within the company, sir? Especially kaning mga KMU, kung titignan natin, sir, parang ano lang talaga, sir, nungaysan, sir, ba? Sa mostly nagrarally, kung ano-ano mga sinisigaw dyan sa daanan, nagpapapansin. So, have you handled such cases, sir? Or can you tackle or elaborate about end of contractualizations? Is it part of the kaning labor malpractice?
We handled some cases about, pero unionism, everybody, it is the right of the worker to unionize. So which union ang pipiliin nila, that's not our department. Bahala sila. But I can say that yung KMU is more of an ideological thing. They don't really care kung ma-dismiss yung worker. O kung masasara yung company pag mawawala ng trabaho. That's my personal opinion. They don't really care. So, pero as to the rest, well, it's the the workers' right to unionize. That's another department of the DOLE. If there is a unfair labor practice like the union busting and all that, that's one of the functions in NLRC. We decide on that sort of thing. Union busting. And how do you call this? Yung contractualization. Actually, contractualization is it all depends on the one. It all depends. Normally, contractualization fixed term employment allowed yan, but very strict tayo yan. There must be, if there is a contractual employment, the employee and the employer must be at least on the same footing, as in edukado yung employee. Or in educado employee, and he or she knows what he's getting into. Like yung mga teachers, mga leading case na teacher ng international school and all that. They know what they're getting to contractual if they enter the contract for a fixed term employment. Okay, no problem. It's when walang choice yung employee but to enter into a fixed into a contractual. The problem with contractual employment is titingnan namin yan. There are several cases ng ganyan. Let's see. A prime example is ABS-CBN. Coca-Cola. I will tell you which cases na marami na hindi dumaan sa amin. Pero I read mga cases na decided by the Supreme Court. Na they said that mga employees are project employees for a fixed term employment. That's illegal. If the employee is performing jobs which is necessary and desirable to the company, and the employee is not in a even footing with the company, as in well, how do you term this? Parang lang, kapitatalin lang ba? You know, you have to get that employee sign that contract of employment. Usually yan. How do you call this? No, fixed term. After fixed term, dismiss ka na. If you're performing it all depends on the circumstances. Like I said, the employee knew what he was getting into and he agreed, okay, no problem. But if a lowly employee lang, like a janitor or something, nagcontractual ka lang, or more worse, nag-labor only contracting as in dinideploy lang sila by a contractor who does not even have the equipment and capital to be a legitimate labor contractor. And usually a legitimate labor contractor has all the equipment, the capitalization, and registered as a contractor with the DOLE. So case-to-case basis yan. Pero I have seen several cases na that the employees were allegedly contractual na at the end of the contract, dismiss ka na. If you're performing jobs which are necessary and desirable to the company, you are considered a regular employee. That's how we deal with it. But we can only deal with it pag may complaint. We cannot existing endo arrangements. That's the purview of the DOLE. So kami, we only if ang cases that will land with us is na-endo siya, nag-expire yung contract, na-dismiss kagad. We file a complaint for illegal dismissal. Then we decided. Whether or not it's really legit, it's really project employee or contractual employee, or if it's actually a regular employee. If it's a regular employee, ang iyang pagka-endo niya is already termination without just cause and without just cause. So wala. That's how we handle endo cases. Only when an employee is endoed, then nag-file ng complaint with the NLRC. As to mga contract, that's properly the purview of the DOLE. That's why they have inspection teams. Mag-expect sila doon. We only handle it pag may magreklamo. So whether that is just justified yung endo thingy, wala lang kuan. I only follow the law. And the law says that if you're performing jobs which are necessary and desirable to the kuan, and you were not on an equal footing with the company, then you consider the regular employee. Mga exceptions doon is mga high-level executives na or teachers or people who knew what they were getting into when they signed the contract. So they cannot complain anymore na na-endo sila.
With regards aning mga tackle man jud ning endo, mostly sa mga companies like Jollibee, kaning mga McDonald's or other private companies, sir, they do have age limits. So we can consider, sir, siguro if military, you should have an age limits so that you can perform your job well. So kaning mga private companies, kaning mga mag-post sila o job hiring na age limit, are they allowed to do so, sir?
Yeah. As long as it is not contrary to law, public morals, but good morals, public order, public policy. For example, are you going sa airport? Are you going to hire a 60-year-old? No. So you can go on. You will only hire a pilot pag perfect eyesight and perfect physical condition. Okay. So that's the same thing with the private sector. Pag government sector, pareho din yan. They can throw in any requirement they want as long as it is germane to the position you're applying for. You cannot say, it must be reasonable. Okay? Yung electric cooperative negosyo dati, meron silang retirement plan sa mga employees that will allow the employees to retire at 60. And the reason for that, pag 60 ka na, hindi ka na makakakit ng poste. So you can put in any requirement you want for as long as it's not unreasonable. For example, are you going to let a non-lawyer applying in the NLRC for the position of labor arbiter? No, hindi pwede. You can go on. And sa age limit, if the job is physical in nature, you're not going to hire an old man or somebody arthritic na. So basta reasonable, it must pass the test of reasonableness. It should not be unreasonable. Like, for example, there was one case, very old case. May sila na yung mga stewardesses should not get pregnant or something, or should not get married or something. That was considered an unreasonable requirement. So you can put in any requirement as long as it is reasonable. Okay? As to what is reasonable, depende na yan sa trabaho.
Thank you, sir, for your insight, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
No problem.
Yes, thank you so much, Sergeant Piox. Last na po, Ma'am Aimee Regidor. Ma'am, baka may katanungan pa po kayo kay attorney.
Good afternoon po, attorney. Good afternoon po, ma'am. My question po is for the people po or sa kanang tao po dito na bago pa lang po pumasok sa Zoom at hindi po nakaabot sa yung first na statement nyo po. Gusto ko lang po malaman kung brief explanation lang po about your job, your specific explanation about your job po.
Okay.
An attorney.
No problem. First of all, I'm a labor arbiter. Labor arbiter is we handle labor cases, and I already rattled off yung mga powers and functions of the NLRC. That's our job. But basically, what I do is I write decisions for the commissioner. I conduct hearings on the instructions of the commissioner and do any research and all that at the instructions of the commissioner. Okay, that's my job as a reviewing labor arbiter. Basically, I make decisions. I do the hard work. People, me and my colleagues, we do the hard work so that the commissioners can handle all those cases easier. If you want, nandun naman ako sa NLRC. You could get in contact with me, or if you want any further questions, okay lang. I'm not going anywhere. Nandun lang ako sa office most of the time. In fact, during the pandemic, doon ako sa bahay most of the time. And I really hated that yung mag-BTC pa kami and all that. So I prefer to be in the office. So nandun lang ako. If you want to you can contact him. You can ask me anything. Basta lang within reason. Pag hindi ko masagot, there are certain things na hindi ko masagot.
Okay po, sir. Thank you po.
Thank you po, Ma'am Amy. I think last question na po natin yon. At bago tayo magtapos, Sir Ma'am, ating pong pakinggan at hingian ng parting statement or message si Atty. Tiburcio Adrian A. Umbac II. Sir, baka meron po kayong mga additional announcement.
Wala na. What I do is, I've been a government employee since 1995 and I have done my best to do my part para mapabilis yung mga the adjudication of cases. Because as we lawyers are fond of saying, justice delayed is justice denied. And it is also nasa lawyer's oath yan. You are not to delay any man's cause for money and malice. And I can say this, that we in the NRC, we do not delay cases. If they land with us, we do our best to decide it. Ang mangyari lang is, like for example, na appeal in April. Wala na, na-appeal in April, it will not last until December, I assure you, because we will be doing our best to have a zero backlog in December as we have done zero backlog last June. So, huwag naman kayo magreklamo kung mabilis yung, masyadong mabilis kami. May nagreklamo na masyadong bagal kami. Ngayon mabilis kami, ang bilis nyo. It's justice delayed, justice denied, and we do our best that justice will not be delayed. Yan ang mission namin, ang ultimate mission namin, not only of the NLRC but of the legal profession. Up to including from the lowest MTC up to the Supreme Court, we do our best to make justice swift and fair. Swift and fair. Mabilis lang pero bias, hindi rin pwede yan. So we do our best to resolve your cases in the most thorough manner and as fast as possible. Okay? So yan lang Guada. That in a nutshell is the mission of the NLRC, to resolve cases in the fastest and fairest possible way.
Yes, sir. Sir, thank you so much for that comprehensive information you shared with us. Saludo po kami, sir, sa lahat ng ginagawa ng NLRC 7th Division dito sa ating area of responsibility.
And with that, mga kaibigan, sa ngalan po ng aming Commanding General, Philippine Air Force, Lieutenant General Connor Anthony Deaconlas Sr., Philippine Air Force.
Sa ngalan din po ng aming Commander, Air Mobility Command, Brigadier General Joannis Leonardi V. Di Maano, Philippine Air Force.
At sa ngalan din po ng aming Wing Commander, Tactical Operations Wing Central, Brigadier General Lito D. Villanueva, Philippine Air Force. Ako po si Staff Sergeant Ann Francis M. Tompong, Philippine Air Force.
At ako naman po si Airwoman Yasmin C. Saladar, Philippine Air Force.
Marami pong salamat sa inyong suporta at pagsubaybay. Keep safe everyone. God bless.